Hello, welcome to Zima Design. Let's create a quilt as you go t-shirt quilt. So gather all your t-shirts and you're going to cut them into squares. Mine are all cut at a 12 by 12. And I'm also going to cut my inner facing, and I'm going to iron that on. And I'm going to cut a backing fabric. And my backing fabric is going to be a little larger than my t-shirt and my batting. So it's a 15.5 by 15.5. And I'm going to use this flannel, snuggle flannel as my backing fabric. I'm just finding the centers on all sides, and I'll do that for my t-shirts, and I'll do that for my batting. And my batting, I'm using this Upcycle fleece, red fleece that you see. I'm finding the center of my t-shirt so I can line everything up, and I'm going to line it up on all four sides of those centers. And you see I have the extra fabric on each side. I'm going to pin it in place, and then I'll take it back to my sewing machine, and I'm going to do some free motion stitching all around my t-shirt. And I'll go in and out the letters, in and out the logo, and do all of the t-shirts the same way. So I have everything all sandwiched together. These are all the t-shirts that I'm going to use, and I'm going to free motion quilt around all of those. Then I'm going to join each of those squares together, making sure that my logos are the same way, right side up there. And I'm going to pin them together, making sure to pin them at the centers and on each side. And then I'm going to sew them down the side, open up that seam and press it. And then I'm going to fold that seam there twice toward the t-shirt, and I'm going to sew down each side. And you see, this is what it looks like on the back with a free motion quilting that I did. And you can see that center seam there where I've seamed it up. And you're going to seam close to where your t-shirts meet when you bring that seam up together. And I marked my seam there right next alongside my t-shirt. Once you get two of the t-shirts together, you're going to continue on doing that to form your rows. And in this case, my rows are 4 t-shirts across. And so I'm going to line those t-shirts up, and I'm going to pin them together. And you're going to pin so that the back of your backing fabric, which is my blue snuggle flannel there, is going to be right sides together. And I start to pin there, and you do this with each of your squares. I start to pin in the center, matching the centers, and then matching each of those outside seams so you can ease in the rest of the fabric. And then you make sure that your t-shirts meet. You can feel it through each side of your backing fabric. And then you'll sew close to that t-shirt. And then once you have your rows together, you'll do the same method to connect your each of the rows together. So I'm going to make sure that my center seams match, and then I'm going to pin everything together. And once again, I'm going to make sure that those t-shirts meet up together and sew down that side seam. I'm going to do a double turn on that inner seam sashing, sew it down. You can use a decorative stitch or a straight stitch. And I did a straight stitch on some, and I did decorative stitch on others. And your quilt is almost done. You just have the side seams and the bottom seam. So you're going to do the same thing, double fold it, pin it in place. And then when you get to the corner there, if you want a mitered corner, you're going to double fold it. But then you're going to fold up one side at an angle. So fold up that one side at an angle, and then you'll pin it in place just to hold it, and then double fold your other side up, and you should make a mitered corner there. And you'll do that all the way around your entire quilt. So if you don't want a miter folded, you can just do it right on the straight edge of the fold, and then on the straight edge of the fold again. And you're doing a double fold there. And then you'll see that it'll just be a straight seam going across and a straight seam going up if you don't want to miter it. But I mitered all of my corners there. And then after you do your seam, I did when I did my mitered seam there, I did that part by hand, but I just sewed a straight stitch all the way around the entire outer edge of the sashing there, and your quilt is all done. And you see this is what the back of the quilt looks like. It looks like it's just one piece of backing fabric, when in fact you did a quilt as you go. And this is a quick and easy way for you to do a t-shirt quilt. You can do this with any other kind of fabric as well. So I hope you like this project, and I hope you'll give it a try.